Hey guys, it's Gameface and welcome back to episode 16 of my Liverpool career mode. Now, in today's episode we have this game against Crystal Palace to play to kick things off. We are going to be playing that match in the league for us here because we obviously need to be picking up the points, trying to compete with Chelsea as much as possible. And this is the team we're going to be playing with to be able to try and do that. Alisson starts in goal, Stipe right back, Tarkowski, De Ligt and Gomez in defence with Cook, Oxlade-Chamberlain and James Milner in midfield. Shaqiri, Firmino and Sessegnon as our front three. Also, we played quite recently against Man United. We've also got to play Man United once again in the quarterfinals of the Champions League in today's episode. And so we have had to change around the team for this game, having just played recently. Before we go any further though, if we could try and hit 100 likes on today's episode, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic too. And go ahead and click that bell button along with it, and I'd be really grateful of you doing that. Let's crack on with this game against Palace. Let's try and beat them, try and get ourselves 3 points, as we slowly try and close that 6-point gap that we have between ourselves and Chelsea. Okay, then here we go for this game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Looking forward to this game actually. In real life, there has been some quite exciting matches between these two teams. Hopefully we can replicate the same thing, just making sure we definitely win the match against Crystal Palace here. Oxlade-Chamberlain back to Firmino. Great 1-2. Firmino's through here. Good chance. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Firmino shoots off the bar. Had to keep that one down and somehow it stayed out the goal. We had to score that chance as our first opportunity of the game and we should have been 1-0 up from it as well. Unfortunately, haven't quite managed to finish that. Really good bit of play there between Oxlade-Chamberlain and Firmino. Those guys linking up very well to start off this game. And we have looked pretty good so far, which is good to see. Hopefully that can continue, but we need a goal to show for it. Lewis Cook now going forward. Can he find Firmino? But trying to thread that one through. Gets intercepted. Sessegnon desperately trying to win it back, but will be cleared. Townsend attacking here. Oh, still a chance. Off the post. Great opportunity for Palace. We haven't cleared it properly. Just about getting enough of a block on it and it goes out for a corner. Really disappointing defender. We have to clear that one out much better than we do. But it's a great chance for Crystal Palace. Still remains 0-0, but a corner to defend. Townsend to deliver. Got to clear this one away better if we can. And we have done this time round. Milner into Firmino. Turning. Shooting. Oh, saved by the keeper. So far we have looked the better team just about. We've yet to get a goal. It's been a bit disappointing we haven't got a finish so far because we haven't had some good chances. Goalkeeper's kept them in it that time. Oxlade-Chamberlain still running forward. Good run from him. Shoots and scores. It's 1-0. Oxlade-Chamberlain does it. We're winning this game finally. It's only taken 2 or 3 decent chances. We've eventually scored one of them. And 35 minutes into this game, we've taken the lead. Great turn here. Loses his man really well. Gets into some space. Runs at the defence. And unleashes a great strike that gets it away from the goalkeeper. And we're winning this game 1-0. Very impressed by that finish. Oxlade-Chamberlain has looked good. He's not had that many chances in the first team. Not as many as he probably should have. But he will certainly start to get more opportunities in the side. I believe him and Chan will probably be rotating a little bit more in that midfield because those two guys are certainly competing for that one position. And obviously we have John Henderson who I'd choose to play alongside him because he does play very well in game. So we do have a lot of competition in that position, but he certainly has been playing well for us. Firmino over to Shaqiri, chance him to get a shot away. Oh. Half time, we are winning this game 1-0 at the moment. Obviously, we could have had an earlier goal before that with Firmino who hit the bar, but we are still in a good position. We just need to try and build on that lead, take more of our chances, because we are creating 3 or 4 chances really that we probably should have scored from or could have scored from anyway. And so we do need to start to take a few more of them just so that if Crystal Palace do score, we aren't left in a bit of a tricky situation. That's a great 1-2. Chance for Lewis Cook. He's in behind. Is he onside though? I think he was, but it was saved by the goalkeeper regardless, out for a corner. And it's a chance for Milner to get a ball in. Such a good chance for us there early on. And it's a good ball in actually. Found Firmino, who heads it at the front post, but again saved by the keeper. Oh, what a pass that is through to Osborne. How they've picked him out, I've got no idea. They're going forward. It's a good counter-attack. Osborne shoots, saved by the keeper. Luckily, Sidibe gets there and can flick away for now. And again, we've not defended that very well. Disappointing from us. Chance for Benteke. Oh my days, he should score that. Should be 1-1. So close to being let off the hook there, really. And it's a very strange chance again. I can never really get my head around how this can happen because we've looked really, really good. We've been playing some fantastic football in between the lines of the midfield and attack and midfield and defence. Yet we just haven't managed to get ourselves a second goal. It's so frustrating. But then Crystal Palace can go forward with that sort of one opportunity and look like they should score. And they definitely should there through Benteke. But yeah, such a strange situation in this game. It seems to happen in quite a few matches as well recently. We've got to try and clear this one away, and we will do for now. But still need a second goal. That really could cost us if we don't get one. Firmino now looking on the counter-attack to outpace Sacco. He needs the support, and he should get it here through Shaqiri. He should get there as well and shoots. And he scores. Wow, I thought we'd hit it wide. Shaqiri hits the corner, I think, of the goal, and it goes in the back of the net. 2-0. That should be game over with 15 minutes to go. It's a great finish in the end. I thought, like I say, I thought we put it wide. I thought it was a really bad strike at first. It was a little bit of a delayed reaction, but it's so far in the corner that it pings off there. and it goes into the back of the net. Let's look exactly where it is. Is it post or is it both? I think it might just be both, but it's so difficult to tell. 2-0 anyway, that's the most important thing. Let's make some changes. All three changes, Lallana, Woodburn and Solanke all to go on. We're going to take off Oxlade-Chamberlain, Cook and Firmino, give all those guys a rest and bring on some different players for the final 15 minutes. Let's see how they get on, try and add to the scoreline further if we can. I'm obviously anticipating Palace will throw a lot of players forward in order to try and nick a goal, but I'm just hoping that we can capitalise from that. Throwing a lot of bodies forward. Wouldn't be surprised if we do concede here, but Sidibe's dealt with that really well once again. He's just got so much quality in those heading situations. Now a chance for Session to get going forward. He needs the support here of Shaqiri. He's trying to find it as well. Shaqiri going and trying to get a shot away. And he will. It's a third. Shaqiri scores again just a couple of minutes later. And it's a great strike. Another good finesse from him. And it's a fantastic finish once again. 7 minutes left in this game now. But it's a fantastic shot as that. Great counter-attack as well. Started by Session, finished off by Shaqiri. And I thought Crystal Palace were going to block the shot, to be honest. But they didn't in the end. We can just see the way that we pick up the ball here. Was getting sort of tracked by somebody else. But then we obviously get towards Sacco, who I was expecting to block it. He doesn't, and we score. It's a really good finish. Goalkeeper, maybe I at first thought could have done better, but I don't think he really can. It's too far on the corner. 3-0. There we go. We got ourselves a 3-0 victory here against Crystal Palace. Really happy with that. Great scoreline, obviously. Good to get 3 points. Disappointed, though, that we weren't able to get the second and third goals in the first half or early on in the second half. We had to rely on the fact that Palace were throwing more players forward to nick a point or to get a goal. And so that's the only disappointing thing, really. Obviously, it's not really how you get the goals or when you get the goals. As long as you get them is the most important thing, as long as you win. But at the same time, if I'm looking more long-term, you want to be trying to get those second and third goals much sooner to try and put the game to bed much sooner as well. And that would have brought the substitutes on a little bit sooner and would have given those a bit more of an opportunity. So we have to just try and make sure we're getting those goals a little bit earlier if we can help it. But having said that, it's good to get 3 points. We can just now hope that we can catch Chelsea up a little bit. Okay, now to this next game against Watford. We are going to sin this game in the league. We are again 6 points behind Chelsea because they've just won their last match 2-0, I think. So we're going to go with a very strong team to try and win this game. Hopefully, it's basically our full strength side other than Turney who comes in and maybe 1 or 2 others. So yeah, we're going to wait and see how we get on. Hopefully win this game against Watford. We should do based on the team that we have out, but it's not always the case. Watford missed a penalty. We scored though through Salah just 2 minutes later. Approaching half-time, Sterling's 1-0 at the moment. Can we get a second? No, they've equalised in the stroke of half-time. Mane puts us back in front though to make it 2-1. We're going to sim, and we've got ourselves a 2-1 victory. 3 points in the bag for us. Happy about that, although it was only a narrow one. Okay, now to this game against Everton in the big Merseyside derby for today's episode. Alisson starts in goal, Alexander-Arnold, De Ligt, Tarkowski and Gomez in defence. James Milner, Lallana and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in midfield with Salah, Origi and Sessegnon as our front three. Obviously made some change for this game. That's purely because we've got a game against Man United in the Champions League in 3 days' time. So having to also think about that match as well. But Salah does start, so still a little bit of quality in the team, but still also a good enough side, I believe, to win this game against Everton. This bench I've gone with Firmino and Mane on there as our 2 stronger players, obviously, to come on if we need them. The rest of them you pretty much expect to be on there as well. Let's crack on with things. Let's try and get ourselves another 3 points in the league if we can, so then we can shift our focus onto the Champions League after this game. Okay, here we go for this game against Everton in the big Merseyside derby here. Hopefully going to get ourselves a victory against them, despite the changes we've made to our team in preparation for the next match against United. Let's see how we get on though. Lallana wins it back and goes forward. Now look for that pass through into Sessegnon. Good chance. Back to Lallana though. It opens up for him nicely. He shoots and hits the post. Such a good chance for us, but again, not managed to find the back of the net. Lallana could maybe have gone a little bit further forward if he wanted to. But the space opened up ready for a shot. Could have maybe ran into it rather than shooting from it. But hits the post and unfortunately goes out for a goal kick. Go on, Sessegnon. Win it back. There we go. Let's chip the keeper. Oh my days, it's going to go in as well. That's absolutely incredible from the youngster. That's come from absolutely nothing. From that very same goal kick, we've managed to just win it back off the defender. Sessegnon of all players. We know how small he is, how weak he is, but he manages to somehow outstrength the Everton defender and then lob it over the goalkeeper. That's unbelievable. Who's he won it off there? Who's in that position? I can't even tell, but it's a great chip over the keeper. And from such a tight angle as well, that's an incredible goal. What a way to open the scoring in this game. And what a finish as well from the youngster. Don't get much better than that, do they? It's Finis Mori's won it back off. Yeah, I can't believe that from him. Very strange from the defender. Just win it back off him so easily. Oh, we've given away a penalty there. That's rubbish. Absolutely terrible decision there. We went diving in to try and win back the ball. It's ultimately, I think, Sigurdsson who's ended up just knocking the ball past us. It's really smart play. I think it is Sigurdsson. He gets himself in a good position, just knocks it past us. We obviously don't anticipate it quickly enough. clear-cut penalty. Very easy one for the referee to give. And now Sigurdsson to step up. Which way is he going to go? Oh, he's going to go that way as well. I've changed my mind. It's a lovely chip, and we've had one chip at their end and now one chip at our end. It's 1-1. Sigurdsson levels up in this game. Disappointing, because that is a really poor penalty to give away. Such a simple penalty and a really clumsy one. Origi spins his man, that's really good. Running through now on his left foot. Oh, it's a bit of a wild strike, as that one's aimed for the opposite side of the goal, but had to be saved anyway. I think it was on target. Salah going to aim for the front post now. Can he find Gomez there? Who went for a flick on, but again, headed out. Lallana waiting for the overlap there. He's found it from Joe Gomez. He's still going, trying to find a pass across. De Ligt, oh, saved by the goalkeeper. De Ligt went charging forward with one of his passes, and unfortunately couldn't quite get the finish right, because he gets himself in a great position to be picked out by Joe Gomez, and it's constant is this pressure that we have on them. They're really struggling to clear the lines properly. The press is just too much for them. They're struggling to cope, and it's only a matter of time really before we get another goal, you'd imagine. We are getting close to the half-time break though. Got ourselves a corner. Can we get ourselves a goal from it as well? James Milner to deliver. Salah's in there and went for it, but again, will be cleared away. Half-time, drawing the game 1-1 at the moment against Everton. We certainly should be doing much better than we are. We've given them one chance from the penalty, and have taken it, and we've created many chances, and we haven't taken enough of them so far. It's a common theme, really, so far in today's episode. We've got to try and be a bit more clinical in the earliest stages of these matches. We can't just wait until the team opens up towards the end of the game. As much as it's still nice to get 3 points eventually, we want to try and secure victories much earlier on. We certainly should be winning this game, so we'll have to wait and see how quickly we're able to get ourselves back in front now. Salah there, play over to Sessegnon, who's through. It has to be a goal. Sessegnon shoots and hits it wide. This is what I mean. This is the sort of chance that you have to take. I know obviously Sessegnon's a young player, his finishing's not quite up there yet, but it's got to be better. Got to be better there. Have to be more ruthless in front of the goal. We haven't had that so far. Milner short to Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's now going to try and pick out De Ligt. He'll go for a little chip. Salah's there-ish. He's trying to get there. He goes for a cross himself into that post. Sessegnon has to score. He will. He's onside as well. It's 2-1, but back in front. And it's Sessegnon that does it at the back post. It's really good stuff there. Salah and Sessegnon combining. And it's a great delivery on his left foot there from Salah. What a header back across. And Sessegnon gets his second of the game. And he probably could have had a hat-trick at this point, I'd say, during the match. But hasn't quite happened just yet. There's still time. And hopefully he can do that as well. 30 minutes left of the match. Winning the game 2-1. Still wanting a third and maybe a fourth goal as well. Still going. Oof. Thought he could have had a hat-trick there. That just fell to her out of nowhere. Such a good chance for Sessegnon. Again, didn't quite manage to take it. Partly because I wasn't expecting it. Sessegnon turning out and shooting again. And again, blocked and stays in. First change, Salah off. We're going to bring on Shaqiri now to play on the right-hand side. And we'll see how we get on for the remaining 20 minutes of this game. Hopefully we are able to add to the scoreline still. I'm just hoping we can get a third, because you never know what can happen with Everton. They've barely created anything in the whole game. In fact, the penalty is the only chance they've really had. And yeah, you never know what can happen. Shaqiri coming inside, still searching for a third goal. Trying to get on his left foot to shoot. Oh, it's a good shot as well, but saved again. I'm having a lot of those sort of chances in this game, but still not enough to get more than 2 goals, which is disappointing. There's still time though, 5 minutes to go. Looking for Oxlade-Chamberlain to get a good ball in now. It is a good ball, but again, didn't really ever look like scoring. Okay, final 2 changes, Matip and Wijnaldum to come on. Obviously change formation here quite clearly. Sessegnon going to go play as the left back here for the remainder of the game, and we'll see how that goes for us. Just kind of making sure we're secure at the back. A couple of minutes to go. You never know what can happen in these sort of games. I'm just hoping that Everton don't score their second chance of the game. Well played, Shaqiri. Great strength. Didn't expect him to come away with that. Still looking for the ball through here into Origi. It's found him. Can he finish it off? No, we can't. Of course we can't. Finishing's been dreadful in this episode. Hits the bar. Oh my god, thought we conceded. Jesus Christ, terrible defending. But there we go, we've managed to get ourselves a victory anyway, just about here against Everton. Finishes 2-1, and we have just managed to do it. It was one of those situations, again, where they find themselves going forward for just the second or third time in the whole game, and yet they could have quite easily scored that final chance. Don't really know what goes on with this team sometimes. But we have won the match, that's the most important thing. Again, not the most brilliant performance in terms of the quality of the football at times, and finishing our chances, not good enough again. 17 shots, 10 on target though, so creating plenty of chances, just not managing to have the finish, unfortunately. Fully deserved victory though, Everton having 3 shots, 1 on target, and they scored it. So that pretty much tells you the whole story there. And hopefully again we can try and catch Chelsea up. We're struggling at the moment though, we're not managing to make any sort of way into their 6-point gap that they have in front of us. I think maybe it's now down to 3 because we've played the game in hand. But other than that, we're still the same distance away. Okay, to the final game of today's episode now against Man United. It's the away fixture of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. This is the team I've gone with. It's probably the team you'd expect, to be honest. The usual defence with Sidibe coming in at right back, Alexander-Arnold just dropping out onto the bench. Henderson, Chan and Wijnaldum in defence with Salah, Firmino, Mane once again up front as our front three. And we're going to see how that goes with this bench as well. Solanke's on the bench this time round just because Origi is quite tired, and we'll see how he gets on with that. Hopefully enough quality in this team to beat United. It's going to be a very tough game, I imagine. We could do, though, with a couple of away goals, but we have struggled a little bit with scoring a couple of goals. So we'll see how quickly we're able to do it, and if we are able to do it, hopefully we can, because that puts us in a much better position in going into the second leg next episode. Okay, here we go for this game against Man United. We played them quite recently, and hopefully we are able to get ourselves a really good victory in this game as well. So let's try and just win the match. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but it really won't be. Just hope we can get ourselves a convincing win. Obviously, we played them quite recently and lost that game 3-0, so anything that's not a 3-0 victory will certainly be an improvement. Chance for Mane to score early on. We have done. It's 1-0. We got ourselves an away goal just 4 minutes into the game, and Mane scores. And what a way to start this match. It certainly won't be 3-0 in this game now. Maybe 3-0 to us at this rate, and it's a really good start to the game. We've got to make sure we build on this lead now. We can't allow that to continue for another 80 minutes without scoring another goal. We have to make sure we continue to get a second and hopefully put United in a difficult position. Well played. Salah has it now. He's beaten Felipe Luis to it. He's going to come inside to his left foot to shoot. It's a good block. Still have it. I don't know what Firmino's doing. He seems to head that one away for them. It's good defending for Roberto Firmino. Mane getting in good position now, looking for the pass across. Chance, oh, what a save. Was it David De Gea? Was it the defender? I'm not really too sure, but it doesn't matter to us because it has been stopped from being a second goal in this game. It's a great bit of play once again, getting in behind United and creating chances here. Haven't quite got the second one just yet, but it feels like it's fairly close at this rate. Firmino looking to play it into Robertson, he'll try on his right foot. Very optimistic, but wins a corner. Oh, good ball into Sanchez. United will win their first chance of the game. Sanchez turning away from goal, playing it back, and then saved by Alisson. Good save as well by the keeper. Half-time, winning the game 1-0. Should really be 2, I'd say. Hasn't quite happened yet for us, but I think it will happen at some point. Just want to make sure it happens as soon as possible because we could really do the second goal just to settle us a little bit, make sure we get a more comfortable lead in front of United, and obviously get the second away goal as well, which is vitally important to helping us really in that second leg. One goal, United can quite easily match themselves in the second leg, so got to make sure we get a second and maybe even a third just to make sure. Mane over to Salah, good chance for him to now shoot. Oh, opens up his body brilliantly, but what a save from David De Gea. Cleared away and still remains 1-0, 66 minutes in now. Salah running forward, that's really good. Can he open up his body and shoot? Oh, off the post. Such a difficult angle to score from on your left foot there. And I don't think he could really bend it in any more than that, to be honest. It was so close to go wide, and I think the post was as near as we were going to get. First change, Chan off, Lewis Cook to come on. Hopefully he has a bit more energy for the final 15 minutes of the game. Still looking for the second goal, still really want the second goal as well, because a one-goal advantage doesn't really mean too much, even though it is an away goal. Like I said before, United can quite easily score in the second leg if they want to. So yeah, we need a second one. Let's just try and get it if we can. It'll be quite difficult though, I think. United defending pretty well on the whole. I was saying that we're through here with Mane. It's a chance for him if he can shoot and score. Yes, he can. It's off the post and in this time. And we've doubled our lead, giving ourselves a 2-goal advantage, which we desperately wanted. We've finally got it. And it all comes from pretty poor play there from United. Threw too many players forward and left themselves pretty open at the back and in midfield. We won it back in midfield and then could score with Mane. Really good bit of play there. Very clinical with that chance. I thought we were going to miss it though for a second just when he opened up his body. It's the only downside to having a right foot to play on the left hand side is that finish is a little more tricky. But he goes off the post and in and we just don't score 2-0. Mane on for a hat-trick with 11 minutes to go. United will continue to throw even more players forward now, looking for a goal before the end of this game. Should be keepers. Oh, doesn't need to punch there. Let's try and just clear that one away, please. Chance for Lukaku to turn and shoot. Oh, it's rubbish. We've allowed them such an easy chance there. Should do so much better. It's 2-1. Luckily, we're still going to win this game, I think. But yeah, it's disappointing. We didn't defend that one properly at all. Lukaku just too strong. Van Dijk gets the totally wrong side of him. Matip should block the shot. So many mistakes there. We allowed the ball to go into Lukaku in the first place, which shouldn't happen. And it all comes down to our midfield not protecting the defence well enough there, as well as the defenders doing a poor job. So, real disaster. But it always happens, though, towards the end of the game when they throw like 7 or 8 players on your back line. It's really difficult to defend. That one, though, was fairly simple. And we've messed up again in possession. Lindelof this time winning it back. Luckily, United do the same. That's it, finishes 2-1. Obviously got ourselves the advantage, got ourselves 2 away goals as well, which is good. But it is a little bit of a shame that we couldn't get a clean sheet in that game away against United. So unfortunately, it'll go down to the home fixture now, and we'll really all still be to play for in that match. And hopefully we are able to make sure we keep a clean sheet in that game. But that'll be pretty much everything for today's episode. You can see by the stats that we should really have done a little bit better than we did, but there you go, it doesn't always happen again, and today's episode does really show that we've got to be more clinical, and we had to take more of our chances. We did pretty well with that last episode on the whole, but this episode not so good at times. Got to try and improve still if we can before the end of the season. So that is everything for today's episode now. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 100 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the bell button as well if you haven't already, and that'd be absolutely fantastic too. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at GameFaceHD and on Instagram at GameFaceHD as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.